Yeah.
Yo, what up, faithful? It's your boy Ty Austin here. Joining me tonight is my buddy David McNiner. David, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. It was like kind of a brutal weekend, doing the draft and whatnot, but I'm
Yeah, I
alive. I'm
want, I
kicking.
want,
Everything. It's over, right?
I wanted to ask you about that because yes, the draft has concluded. The 49ers did use all 11 picks. Uh, and you were one of the people that streamed during the entire draft. That's a haul. And if I'm not mistaken, you did the whole thing, correct?
The whole thing
The
from
whole
pick
thing.
1 to pick 257.
Yeah. Was that
Um,
your first time doing it?
no, this is the second
Second
year
year.
doing it.
Okay. But
First
but
time on
I
first time on my channel as a primary though. You know,
yeah, that's what I was about
but
to just ask you because I know
yeah,
last year you did it, but you were on someone else's channel and you were able to jump in and out, do things. But this time you were actually the host. It was on your
that's
channel.
correct.
So it's like you had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be there through thick and thin.
That's
Man, what
right.
what was that experience like? Because I don't even know if I could ever attempt to do that.
Well, it's like you're watching the draft and they're drafting players. You're in round one and they're just taking their sweet time. It's like, man, they could really cut the time on this stuff. That was my first thought. Is they're
Hmm.
just doing this to get the show of it? And
Yeah,
they are. Let's be honest, the NFL
yeah,
is.
yeah,
But just watching the players come off the board, kind of in the way that you thought it was going to happen, but some not in the right order or not to the
yeah,
right team, or it was interesting. And
yeah.
then we got to the 49ers first pick, and I was like, I have no idea what to expect here. Because the Saints just
Hmm.
took Kelvin Banks.
Right.
That was it. The top three tackles are off the board at that point. So it was like, all right, I knew we were going D line anyway, right?
For sure. Yes,
But
indeed.
Mikael Williams, you know,
Yes, indeed.
like I like the pick. I
Yeah.
do. Did you know that he played a lot of the season? The season in college with a high ankle sprain.
I did not find that out until after the draft. So I don't do pre-draft reviews and research because it's just too many players. I just do research after the draft based on who we got. So I found that out, of course, after we picked him. And I'm like, man, he played basically the whole season with a high ankle sprain. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
guys on our roster get a high ankle sprain and they're gone for 6 weeks. Like they're lost for half the
Yeah,
season. I was like,
yeah.
so what? Yeah, I want that guy because that's warrior mentality. What's up, Steve-O? You copy me, you copy her.
and
Yeah. So when I saw that, I'm like,
it was
okay,
like
I immediately like the
I was
guy.
going,
Yeah.
huh? So he puts it out there for his team. He's all
Yep.
about the team, right? And that's a high character guy that we need, right? He's
Yep.
also a very stout run defender, and I
Hmm.
mean his pass rush. I'm thinking his pass rush was honestly hampered by that ankle, but
Yes.
at the same time, there's many plays where he's eating he's taking on an offensive lineman while the guy in back of him comes around.
Yep.
So it was almost like I look at those 5 sacks like they probably should have been higher, but you know, we'll get. He's about to hit us, and we'll find out. But either
Yep.
way, we needed to drastically improve our run defense,
Indeed.
and
Indeed.
he sets the edge and plays the run very well.
Yes,
So
indeed. Can I say what's up to Jason? What's going on? Tulufa, faithful. Yep. Don't you want to do pre-draft stuff and fall in love with the players? Nice. Don't draft. Yeah, that's for you. I'm not into that.
yeah. Oh.
But yes, Kel can definitely. Who gets mad? A lot of people get mad.
There are a lot of people, and it's like I was saying, I'm going to take the
a lot
offensive
of picks
linemen,
overall.
but I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to be here, and they weren't there. They weren't
Mhm.
there. If one of the top 3 tackles fell, I still think they would have went D-line.
Yeah, because you gotta look at it. It was
I
the
mean,
biggest position of need. We talked about this just last week. There's a big void there. Yes, there are current bodies in place, but most of those guys were backup and role players, not bona fide starters, right? And you can't see them being a bona fide starter. So there is definitely a void, and just from a depth standpoint, we needed more bodies than what we have. So taking the D line, I have no problem with that. None at all.
I was like, you kidding? Some of my mocks, that took like 5 defensive linemen. That's, it was all about the trenches, buddy. Like, screw the position players. It's time to,
Yeah.
but
What?
I didn't mind. I didn't mind the McKell. I liked the McKell Williams pick. I honestly think he was the right guy at the right spot. A lot of sites had him as the second best edge in the draft. And obviously our Niners were high on him because as soon as the pick came up, they didn't let the clock tick. They said, "Yep."
No, it was in right away. And we were talking, pre-broadcast about the NFL making you wait so they could go through their whole production. I swear we waited like 10 minutes after it said the pick was in to actually get to the pick. So that was
I actually, believe it or not, I started timing it after that. Even if the team made the pick automatically, you still waited that time that they're given.
Yeah.
And they're still doing their production and whatever kind of show they got going on stage. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, honestly, I believe they could probably do rounds 1 and 2 the first night. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
And then
they just
do like 3 and 4 the second night, then 5, 6, and 7 on Saturday. But what do I know? I'm just the guy that was streaming it, going, "Wow, this is taking a long time."
It's taking a long. Well, it wasn't just you because you were streaming it. I know myself. I felt that way, and I'm sure many other people did too. Because there was one point where Goodell walked on stage with a pick, and you could see him looking back and then like walking back toward the tunnel as if some production person told him, "Wait, not yet." Because like someone was performing on stage or doing something. There was a song being played, and I think they wanted to get to the end of the song before he actually announced the pick. And I'm like, come on now. And it wasn't even someone performing. It was just a song playing over the loudspeaker. And I'm like, is this really necessary? And Jason put it up there, ESPN got to get that money. And you're right. It's all about ratings now. I mean, this is the reason why the draft is broken up into 3 days now. Why the first round is on at prime time on a Thursday night. It's all about the ratings and money, and it's a production. And, we don't really need it. But speaking
that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need this big production, this grand show you guys are putting on, Yeah, I 100% like watching the players get the phone call and then, them
Yeah,
pumping their fists and celebrating with their family. 100% love to see that.
love that. Don't change that at all. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
want to see. It's all the other stuff that drags this thing out. We don't need that. And I was just about to ask, speaking of the production, just real quick before we get back to the players, um, they even made a production about the schedule being announced. Do you remember that? How they had like two women come on stage and they made this big deal about when the schedule is going to be
Yes. Yes.
announced.
They weren't going to announce that pick until after.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. And
And
they
I was
did all
like,
that.
they did. They made a huge production.
Yep.
Schedule drop. It's like,
Yeah. They
you
did
guys
all
know
that
the
just to
schedule
say,
already.
yeah,
You could have done that
yeah.
like a month ago.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Just to be like, oh, it's going to be announced on this day at this time. Join us on ESPN. It's like, come on now. Do we really need that? Like, just drop it already. People are ready to spend their money, buy tickets, but everything has to be a production. It's like,
That's right.
it's getting to be annoying. It's like the movie The Running Man. Everything has to be a production. But
And so, we talked about Mikael Williams, like the
yeah,
second rounder,
yep,
Alfred Collins. Now,
yes,
while this
indeed.
was happening, the whole time I'm watching TJ Sanders drop, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, is he going to make it to us? Is he? No. It was like 2 picks before us, he got picked. I was going, because when it comes to pass rushing interior defensive lineman, he was one of the best in the draft. So that's why I was like, But then they still got Alfred Collins, who he's a big dude. He's 6'6", 320. He'll get in that passing lane. He doesn't have the pad level problem that Kinlaw had, though.
No. He
He'll
doesn't play
get low,
high.
but and then he'll get in the passing lane. He'll get his hand up. So I like that pick. I 100% like it. He's stout run defender. Another stout run defender, right?
Sorry, I had to send a message. Yes. So you see the theme, right? Bolster the D line, stop some run. We got to stop the run first and foremost. So you see the theme there. So once again, we were thin at edge, very thin at edge. We're also thin at D tackle, and we needed a big body in there. I love this pick, a big body in there to stop the middle, stop the run, and he also has pass rush ability. He can get upfield.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. Hey, both Williams and Collins are both 3-down linemen. You don't got to take them off the field, right? So you can leave them out there on rundowns, leave them out there on pass downs, let them wreak havoc, put them in the best position to win. So I thought those two picks together, absolutely brilliant. And I want to jump to the fourth pick, which the fourth pick I believe was that West? Hold up. I don't have my order right.
I think it was the third pick was Nick Martin. I think the fourth pick was Upton Stout. The fifth pick was CJ West, if I remember.
You are correct. Yep. Where the hell are my picks? Hold on. I want to jump. Yeah, you're right. It was CJ West. I want to jump to him because he's in that D-line mold. And I thought this was another brilliant pick to solidify the defensive line. I like what he brings to the table. He's an absolute game wrecker on the line. He loves playing the nose, being head up, two-gapping, taking on double teams, doing a lot of dirty work, yet still making plays.
Yep.
So I'm loving that. Hey, Jess, what's going on?
Well, as I was looking at the young men, interior defensive linemen in this draft, I was looking at CJ West stood out because he's 6'2", so he's not the tallest, but he's got that leverage, he's got the motor, and when it comes to the technique, he's got all of them, folks. He literally played all the defensive line interior technique. That this guy can do it all. I really love the pick. When they drafted him, I was like, yes. It's like our run defense went from being bottom half of the league to potentially being really good with these with those three defensive linemen.
Oh yeah. So you add them, and remember on the roster is you already got big CJ Anderson there. Evan Anderson, I don't know why I said CJ. Evan Anderson there, right? He's another big body in the middle, help stop the run, right? Just beef in the middle. Pause. Like big dudes up there.
Ty, for years I've been wanting a big nose tackle, defensive tackle type.
Yeah.
Now we got like three.
Exactly. Exactly. We got three of them. So we can rotate them, keep them fresh, go hunting, do a lot. And like I said, these guys just aren't run stoppers. They can also get upfield and make the quarterback's life miserable. So you add that to the guys we got on the edge. I think the defensive line got a huge boost, big upgrade. So I'm absolutely in love with what they did, just along the D line and how they addressed it.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't be happier. Okay, let's jump back to that third pick, which was the linebacker. I can't find
Nicholas Martin.
Nicholas Martin,
Ohio
Nicholas
State.
Martin, the headhunter. That's why I immediately, once I started watching film on him and watching him play, he comes to hit. He comes to do some hitting.
That's exactly it. The guy that was our Sam. He was injured most of last year. He played a half, right? And we used to call him Thumper for a reason, because he's thumping people. Nick Martin likes to hit just like that. When it comes to speed, he's actually exactly the same as fast as Greenlaw was.
Yep.
Okay.
You can see it. He plays fast.
Like size-wise, I think he's maybe, a month or two in the weight room away. Okay, let's be honest. He's not that far off. I think he's 5 pounds light. But, I mean, all his measurables are right along with Greenlaw, and his style of play is right along there with Greenlaw. It's like, I'm not saying he's going to be Greenlaw, because he's going to be Nick Martin. Yeah,
of course.
But we got to. He also covers running backs. He covers tight ends. He does everything our Sam is supposed to do.
Yes. Well, and this is one trait about him that I found out. The guy was a former safety, converted to linebacker. Just sounds like familiar. Someone on the roster. Sound familiar, right? And that guy's pretty good. He's pretty good in coverage,
I think he's
right?
called All Pro Fred, if I'm correct.
Yeah. He's got that kind of cool nickname, something like that. Yeah. 4-time All Pro. Yeah. So when you got a guy that can do all that, it's like, okay, I'm sold. Because now he's not a liability in coverage either, which we had a problem last year with that. So I thought this was another slam dunk pick. What do you think?
I think, the draft sites had him listed way down there because he only played 5 games and he missed, a lot of the season. Right. But if you look at his 2023 season, it's like 140 tackles, 6 sacks. The guy can game. He's a player.
Yeah.
And the injury very much hurt his draft stock. You know, if he played the whole season without getting injured, would he have been there at 75?
Mhm.
I'm kind of doubting it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of doubting it because he's that type.
Hmm.
So, it's just what we need,
Yep,
former safety,
yep,
playing linebacker. It's perfect for our
yep,
defense,
yep.
and it's a solid pick. That's what I've been telling my
Jason
friends.
said
It's
it
a solid
best.
pick.
Jason said it best there. We love those converted safeties. Yep. Because we need guys who can cover. In today's NFL, we need a linebacker who can cover. Kenny's in the house. Versatility is the best utility, or something like that. Yeah. That's a
Best
wise
utility.
man right there.
I think he meant ability, but maybe he's using talk to text here.
No, he knows what you meant. He said, I think it's just utility. What does he know? What does he know? It's Kenny Mr. Reach Cope right there. Shout out to Kenny. He's awesome. But right after Nick Martin, and I'm trying to do this in groups, like I address the D line, and I'm addressing the linebackers and front seven here. And the next pick, I'm grouping in with that because this dude, I'm really liking this dude, and this was a pick that made me very happy. And that was the cornerback, of course, Upton Stout. Short 5'8", 180-pound corner out of Western Kentucky. Forget the size and all that. This dude is a dog. He is a dog. He can run,
exactly
cover,
it.
and he does not mind helping out in the run.
He'll come in and hit somebody.
He'll come in and do some hitting. Don't let the size fool you. He'll come in and do some hitting. So, like,
he'll squirt through the pack. You won't see him coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's dangerous. The one thing that a lot of people are looking at his size. Now, the guy has a 37.5-inch vertical.
Mm-hmm. He can jump. He can get up. He got hops.
It was literally ranked 5th among all defensive backs at the combine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, there's a lot of wide receivers that can't jump that high that are taller than him. So, it's one of those things. He has a nose for the ball. He's got instincts, and it's not like we're asking him to play outside.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lenore.
Yeah.
We got Green. He's not being asked to play outside. He's being asked to play the nickel. Could possibly be playing safety. Too, though.
Yeah, I was about to say his versatility. Once again, as Kenny brought up, versatility. This guy played outside. He played some safety also. Like, he's just a football player. I like that. I like guys who are flat out football players that can do a bit of everything. So Kenny says, we don't want no cats. We want them dogs. That's right. We want them dogs. So yeah, they were all Lynch's picks. Yes, I agree with you, Steve-O. This was a pure John Lynch draft. I don't care what anyone says. And I'm going to make a full video about why it was too. People are sleeping on Big John in this one. But back to this dude. I'm really liking him. I love it because I was, honking the horn for we need a nickel back, a true like nickel cornerback, so we can leave Lenore on the outside. Like, I think one of the things that really hurt us is when Lenore moved inside, and then we're bringing in our third corner off the bench to go guard a team's number one. And that just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't make much sense. I'm like, why are we doing that? We need a guy who can just come in and play the nickel so we could leave Lenore out there and cover those guys. So I love this pick just for that reason alone.
Yeah, his versatility, he can play nickel if we need him to play outside. I mean, he can, but
Yeah.
he's also played safety.
Right.
So it's like Shanahan loves them guys, and Lynch loves those guys that can do multiple things.
Yeah. The more you can do,
and
the
that's
better.
what Stout is.
And with our injury history, you might need him.
No.
You might need him at some point. Knock on wood, this doesn't happen again, but you never know. So I'm loving that. But like I said, the position groupings, right? I'm looking at these first 5 picks here. And what is 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, I'm lumping Stout into the front 7 because he's, that nickel guy kind of is like that third linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
I think they did a great job of just addressing the front 7 and securing up front to, stop the run and also cover the short area of the field where people like to attack, quick passing game. I think we're much more stout up front right now. So how could you not be excited for what they're going to be doing with Saleh at the helm running it all?
Oh yes, I'm very much excited for what we're going to be doing this next season. Hoping Saleh decides to stick around for a couple of years, but
I'm hoping so too.
See what ends up happening, right?
I'm hoping so too. Yeah. Kenny says, I wonder if Luter will compete for a spot this season.
Competing for a roster spot. I mean, when it comes to special teams, it's going to be like, all right, coach, put him far away on the front line. He does not need to be in the area of the ball, okay?
Yeah. I think he's going to really have to show something to impress Robert Saleh and, to stick around. And like you said, new special teams coach, we're going to get to him in a minute, but it's going to be tough. I think he's one of those guys on the outside looking in, but it depends on numbers too. Like, who else are we bringing in, right? So you never know. And he says, Mike, look awesome. Thanks. It's just a little road video. Go Mike 2. Jason says practice squad, maybe. Hey, we have thrown guys on the practice squad before. So who knows? Yeah, maybe Luter was supposed to be perfect, right? But then he could never get on the field. So why was that? Is it because he's just a young guy who couldn't play? But last year, like, we needed a couple of corners at points, like especially when Mooney Ward was out, and I think Rock Ya-Sin missed the game or something. Like, we could have used a corner. No, missed the game or two.
Isaac Yiadom.
Yeah. There you go. So, and he could never get on the field. And it's like, why is he not out there? So he's a mystery, a head scratcher, but you never know. That could have been coaching. Robert Saleh might find something and get something out of him that the other guys couldn't the past 2 years. So we'll see. We'll see. Camp is going to be fun. I can tell you that much. All right. So after we address the front 7, like I said, we finally switched to the offense. Got wide receiver Jordan Watkins. Now, I wanted a tall, fast receiver, right? Because we don't have one.
Yeah.
Because we don't have one, and we kind of never had one. So my druthers was to get a tall, fast receiver, but I'm not minding Jordan Watkins, seeing what he can do. And he fits the mold of what we started last year. Last year, Kyle drafted 2 fast, good route running receivers with good hands.
Yep.
Jordan Watkins, fast, good route running, good hands. He fits the mold.
It's in 2 drafts. We went from having kind of mid speed and pretty good hands. Not great hands. Not just to having guys that have great hands and are fast.
Right. They can get
So
separation either with that speed or through route running. And that's the biggest thing.
I'm liking this guy. He's reliable though. You know, the great
Mhm.
hands. He's fast. You know, I think he's 5'11", so he's not the
Yeah.
biggest, but he's not the
No.
smallest.
Right.
You know,
He looks taller than 5'11". To be honest with you, it's weird. Maybe it's just because those college uniforms make you look long or something. I have no idea. But he was always getting open, so maybe that's part of the reason too. So I like guys who play big. So and going back to Stout for a reason, for a second, Stout plays big to me. So I don't care about his size. That dude plays big. And there's been a lot of like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" guys in the NFL who played big and had good careers. So size isn't everything most of the time. But I'm loving the Watkins pick. Just as to the receivers, we know we're going to need a receiver to start the season because Ayuk won't be there week 1. Curtis Robinson, he ain't going to be there week 1. So we're a bit short.
You mean Demarcus Robinson.
I said Curtis. I'm sorry. Demarcus Robinson, the linebacker, popped in my head for a second. Yes, thank you for correcting me. Demarcus Robinson won't be there to start the season. So this guy, if he could come in and catch on to the offense, hopefully they coach him up quick and Kyle doesn't put him in the rookie doghouse because we know Kyle is very hard on wide receivers. He probably just thinks he used to be the best receiver on earth. So
any wide receiver that's not taken in the first round is automatically has a room in the rookie doghouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like Kyle's like, here you go, here's your room. They're like,
yeah.
Huh? What's this?
Yep.
Like we barely met.
I know. I just met you. What happened? All I did was say hi, coach. You're sure to say hello. It's weird. It's weird. Kyle's weird. Who knows? He was weird. But I love this pick. I love what they did there. I'm going to jump. Now let's just jump to the next pick, which was Jordan James, the running back from Oregon.
Thunder.
Your dream scenario at running back is you have a little thunder and lightning combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got CMC. You got Isaac Guerrero. Your lightning. This guy's your thunder. Between the tackles, hard runner, averaged 5.7 yards a carry in college.
Mm-hmm.
Like
first contact, good luck getting him down.
Yeah, doesn't go down easily.
Runs right
all.
Through people.
Mm-hmm.
15 rushing touchdowns. I like the guy.
Yep.
I like this was the third draft pick I actually got right this year. And keep in mind, I had a lot of guests come on and do drafts because I didn't want to overdo it, but this was the third guy I got right.
Yeah.
First guy, I picked Alfred Collins, CJ West, because I was really picking heavy defensive line.
Right.
And I picked Jordan James. I think it was in the 7th round when I was able to snag him. Mm-hmm. But you never know. He might not have been there, 5 picks from now, right?
Right. So yeah.
So I did it though, Ty. I got my 3.
Got your 3. All right.
Last year I got 2. Congrats. I got my 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Steve-O is saying short yardage. Kenny is saying red zone. I agree with all that. Like I'm just hoping the coaches take the head out their butts and be like, yo, CMC doesn't need to be in there banging his body up doing this stuff, especially when you got a big, bruising young running back on the roster. We pounded the table for Jordan Mason to be put in those situations because he is also runs hard, does nothing but fall forward. We've seen him pick up tough yardage, but he couldn't get on the field. Like I'm hoping they learn that hey, CMC's not getting any younger and he can go down at any moment. Like when
Yes.
we're in those short yardage situations, we're at the goal line. I know CMC is great and he can find those little creases and do things, but put the young bull in. Let's play a little bully ball and just,
Mm-hmm.
gosh darn it, pound the rock. Old school, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Pound the rock. And like I said, this guy is averaging basically 6 yards a carry. Like who wouldn't want some of that? Why wouldn't we use that? So I'm hoping Kyle really puts him in the game and lets him get some run. Yeah, and he doesn't fumble. Like, hello, all the traits are there. There's no reason why not to use him.
I've heard some people, go both ways with this pick. I liked the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, at first I saw his numbers. I'm like, all right, well, those are pretty good. Like, let me watch some tape and see what he actually does. And then I'm like, I'm sitting there watching the tape going, wow, like, this is our style of running back right here.
Yeah.
And so I liked the kid,
Yeah.
and we haven't gotten to the for UDFAs yet, but Corey Kenner is another guy I liked too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Jordan James, I think he'll be in the mix. Just a matter of how much he'll be in the mix. Who knows? It's a wait and see. But
yeah,
I'm liking the pick. So that's two additions to the offense that I like. One fits the mold. One give us that thunder that we need. I think they're good additions. How much of the field they'll see as rookies is just a huge question mark. So we just have to wait and see and maybe be patient and let them hit the field. But hopefully it's sooner rather than later. The next pick is another pick I was happy with, and that's the safety Marquez Sigel.
mm-hmm.
I like this dude. I like this dude a lot because he represents a true free safety for us. And that's something this
That's
regime has never had. A
that
guy
that
who can
that's the
play.
thing. We're always drafting strong safeties,
Yeah.
always. And then
Yeah.
we took this guy. I was like, now first things first. I hadn't heard from him of him much, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
who's this guy? Mainly doing work on the D line, and I was like, who's this guy? So I'm like watching tape off to the side, going, like this
Mm-hmm.
this guy's not bad,
Yeah.
like, and then I was watching the defense play, and I'm going, this is a free safety with
Yeah.
range. It's
Exactly.
like we've never had that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm loving that. The dude is fast. He's rangy. He can play the ball in the air. Hello. Imagine that. This might be my happiest pick of the draft. This guy. Because we finally have a true free safety on the roster.
Yeah.
Right? A guy who could play that. And I know in college he did come in the box, play some nickel, play some outside and all that other stuff. But no, screw all that. Just stick him in at free safety. Let him be that center fielder. Remember, this defense came from Seattle and what they were running. But one thing they had Earl Thomas in the middle playing that true free safety position. And he can do it. He can cover sideline to sideline. We never had that guy. Now we do. So I want to leave him at the back end and help him cover because we need it. We flat out need it. I'm plugging the phone in before it dies.
Kenny's putting his measurables in the chat there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to put it up. Hold on. Yeah, but yes, he ran a 4.3740 fast, crazy 10-yard split. I mean, The dude is off the charts. But when you watch him play, like when you see the film and you see him out there and he's covering ground and he's getting PBUs and interceptions on the back end, you're like, oh, a real cover safety. A guy who can help the DBs. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Who would have
gosh.
thunk?
Yeah. It's not this whole, like, we can get away from this whole, oh, the safeties are interchangeable thing. Like, that was just an excuse to say we don't have a real free safety. Like,
Well, we got to
Yeah.
make sure that we, cover things up for Puka Nakua since he's,
Poo Poo Nakua. Poor Poo Poo. Shoot. Steve-O says 5-2 defense. Yo, Steve-O, some real talk. I already had it in my mind. 5-man defensive line, right? You get Williams on the outside, Bosa on the outside, then them 3 big dudes on the inside. Anderson, Collins, and West. Woo!
Other team's going to have to bring in a 7-man front for their offensive line.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Short yardage. You go to a 5-2. You got Fred and whichever other thumper next to him behind that big, massive line. Good luck. Oh, man. Good luck. I'm loving that. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. What did he say? He had 8 tackles for loss and 22 for 4. Yeah, because he can come off the line quick and get in the backfield. Like, the dude, he's a complete all-around player. He can do it all. Special teams value as well. Yes. Like, he can do it all. But I'm just excited for him being on the back end, playing that real, a safety being a safety role, helping out in the passing game. I think if we could get him doing that, that's huge dividends for us. So I think the front 7 is going to wreak havoc. And a lot of quarterbacks are going to be throwing it up. Just let me try to throw it up. And this guy can get out there in position and to break it up or pick it off. Give our offense extra possessions. Oh, that's just going to pay dividends for us. Yeah. As you can see, I'm really excited about this pick. It's my favorite one of the draft. Yeah.
I'm excited for this next season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hold up. We got to continue with the picks real quick because we've approached what for me was the biggest head scratcher of the whole thing. the WTF pick, the who pick, the what? I stayed up for this pick. That is, of course, the quarterback out of Indiana, Curtis Rourke.
A very experienced, many years starting, at the college level. Very experienced, 6'5". I mean, he can scramble and get away, although he's not known for his legs. I'll say that right now. He's really not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, I'm going to make it make sense. We're about to sign Brock Purdy.
Yep.
He's going to be well paid.
Yep.
And a way to keep him well paid without hurting the team is have a cheap QB room behind him.
Bingo. Yeah.
So I honestly do like the pick. Just because of what it does for the QB room moving forward,
Right.
And yeah, we got Mac Jones, but he's only on 1-year contract.
Right.
So
yeah. So when I sat back, so I had to sit back and think about this one and go, why? Why would they do this? And put on my common sense cap and think along the lines that you did. We got Brock. He's our number 1 for the future. But behind him, we're now starting to see a revolving door of backup QBs. And that's what we don't want. I'm pretty sure we don't want to have to deal with finding a backup QB every year. So we know Kyle has a type of quarterback that he likes. And Rourke fits that type. He fits the mold. So if he could get this guy in the 7th round, which means he's going to be super cheap, he probably won't even be part of the top 51 as far as cap goes, right?
Oh yeah,
You
definitely
get him
not.
on, you have him on the roster for a few years. You don't have to worry about your backup QB situation, for the next 3 years. I think it is. So that's one less thing to worry about.
That and Kenny brought up kind of something we could quickly touch on.
Mm-hmm.
So they drafted Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. Later, Shador Sanders was
Mm-hmm.
fallen. They took him. So they have two, right? They
Yep.
traded DTR for Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They signed Joe Flacco. Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson is injured, but still
Yep.
on the
But
roster.
still on the rosters. They
I
got
have
5. Yeah.
never in my life seen a NFL team throw everything at the wall and see what sticks when it comes to the quarterback position before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's crazy. Like they got five completely different quarterbacks on the roster. like no two are the same. It's just like we're going to cast a wide net and see what we catch. Like who makes it through? It's the wildest thing. But there is a saying of Cleveland going to Cleveland for a reason. Like, do you expect anything different from the Browns? I don't think anyone's
I
really
don't.
surprised. It's like,
I don't.
okay,
They're like we're gonna end up with a good one out of all these guys.
yeah,
It's like
one of the 5
I
has
was
to
like,
work, right?
man, as soon as they drafted Dylan Gabriel, I was like, oh boy, they're not
Uh-huh.
drafting Shador Sanders.
Uh-huh.
Now what? And they did anyway. So it's kind of insane, and I feel, and this is another time to touch up on something else. Like Spongy, the kid that drafts with us, he's brought this to some of our attention that some people think it's funny to call
Mm-hmm.
these guys and tell them, yeah, we're this team, we're drafting you.
Oh, the
Dude, come
stupid
on.
pranks. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. It's really not funny. I can play jokes on people all day. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff like that is not.
Yeah.
Like it's just rude. Like, well,
It
let's
is.
not do that. All right, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. That was terrible. That was terrible. And like the stupid, as soon as they posted the picture, like I was like, oh, they're going to be found out easily and dumb, just dumb. Anywho, yeah, I agree with you, Kenny. Sanders is better than Gabriel.
That's a Cleveland Browns problem.
Exactly, that's their problem. That's their problem. Like, yeah, I tried to play call McNiner once. That's their problem. But we don't have those problems. We're good.
Hold on, Steve-O. You that guy going, hey, is this David? I'm interested in buying your property. Was that you? Oh.
Yeah, that was a big one. Bill Musgrave and Dion both played together. Musgrave is now in Cleveland. They have a good relationship, him and Dion. So, that works in Shador's favor, I'm sure. Shador knows Bill. So, hey, like I said, Cleveland's problem. Forget them. Like,
100%. That is a 5-ring circus, okay?
Yeah.
And it should be an interesting topic as the season goes, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But
we got Brock. We're good.
Anyways.
But our next pick, offensive lineman, Connor Colby out of Iowa. Guard.
The only offensive lineman we drafted.
Only one we drafted.
And, we were watching, I was doing the draft. I was watching guys that I thought were pretty good just drop and get taken by other teams. It's like, we don't have the 49ers big board. And to answer it, Steve, I don't remember them ever showing the 49ers war room on the simulcast.
No.
Like,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Yeah.
I think Kyle said, hell no cameras.
And the 49ers are like that. They don't like cameras all up in their business. So they probably didn't. Yeah.
And Connor Kobe outside zone blocking scheme,
Yep.
play
That's what
guard.
we
He's
do.
very athletic, and
Mm-hmm.
he just has to compete. And we'll see
Yeah.
if he makes the roster. If he
Right.
doesn't, then he'll automatically get picked up after we cut him, like Jared Kingston did.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll probably try to stash him on practice squad, but he'll be gone quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. These kind of guys who've played in kind of pro type offenses, especially offensive linemen, they tend to get scooped up quick. Teams are always looking for them, So we'll see. Camp is going to be interesting. Yeah, I know we're all going to be watching the offensive line battle in camp. Wondering who's going to come out of that thing. But that's in another 40 days. We got time. But I want to jump to the last pick of the draft, which was another wide receiver, Junior Bergen, out of Montana. A guy that made me say, go ahead, say it.
Special teams.
Yep. He was a guy that made me say, you know what? They're still addressing special teams. They know the work isn't complete. And I'm happy.
Dude, this guy is a returning monster.
He's an actual
he's not
man.
The biggest. He's not the fastest.
Screw all that.
But he's got vision. Vision. Mm-hmm. He can see the run lane. The run lane he can squeak through. He's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is outright dangerous. He could literally be a game changer just from field position.
There you go.
Right? He could be a game changer just from that. We haven't had a return for a touchdown since I think Richie James did it in 2018, if I remember right.
That is correct. Let's get over Richie James.
This guy could make it happen.
Yeah, we haven't had a punt return for a touchdown since Ted Ginn. Way back before that. That was 2011. So it's been a while, but to see them go out and get an actual return guy, for the position, we're not trying to just like take a receiver or a corner or a running back and say, hey, try to return kicks, try to return punts. We actually went and got someone experienced at it to do the job. It shows you how serious they're taking this offseason. This started since the beginning when they fired the former coaches and went on this coaching search, through to the beginning of free agency, where the first thing they addressed was special teams, right? Got to fix special teams. This is all a part of that. So it's happy to see they aren't just sitting back being complacent with what they've done already. They're continuing to build on it. And I heard it was the special teams coach that was pounding the table for wanting this guy. So you see he's already making his mark.
Yeah.
Right? I'm pretty sure he was involved with the free agency process and now here in the draft. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with this unit and how he can turn it around.
Well, there's nowhere to go but up when it comes to our special teams coverage unit,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just the truth. That's how bad we were last year.
Yeah. You're right on that one.
This guy has made some drastic changes. I was saying before the season ended that there needs to be more than just a coaching change. There needs to be a personnel turnover. You have to get guys that can take good angles, guys that can tackle, and it's happened. It's happened.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've got guys who have actually played special teams a lot, experienced in it. So they should know like basic fundamentals and disciplines already. Now just fine tune it, and it should be a huge upgrade from what we've seen, these past 2-3 seasons. Let's say that. So like that concluded the draft, and I have to say I'm just very happy with all the picks. I love what they did. It addressed a lot of needs. We hit we hit guys that actually not only address needs, but they fit our team. They fit our system. And I think that's the
Yep.
biggest takeaway of it all. Right? They look like 49ers and in what we do. It's like they play like 49ers. So I'm like I don't want to give them a grade. These kids just got grafted, but like
You can't.
I
Like
can say that I'm just
I've been
overall
having a
happy with the
talk with
draft.
someone I know, and you know who you are. I've been saying you can't grade a draft for at least 2 years because you got to see the
Hmm.
product on the field, and
Yeah,
they're developing. This is
yeah,
like even after year two, they're still kind of developing.
yeah,
So but by the end of year two, typically you
yeah.
know what you're going to get.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah. Steve will put up there. Even if the rookies do good, people will blame the easy schedule. They already have that excuse prepared. Like no matter how the 49ers, no matter who the 49ers put on the field, even if none of these rookies play, they're going to be like, oh, the 49ers are doing well. Oh, it's because they have an easy schedule. They already got that excuse prepared.
oh yeah,
So
that's
that's why you
already going
got
to be
just
fine. Who cares?
ignore them and just, hey, be like, hey, just put any team in front of us. We're going to smack them up. We're going to beat them. We're here to play. Like last year was that
I'm just going to
anomaly
use the
year.
classic. You play your schedule.
Yeah. Play your schedule. It ain't our fault.
There's nothing
But
we can
those
do
other
about
teams
that.
are here to play too. Like they're not out there just to lose. They're coming to play hard also. So
Unless
hey,
they're trying to tank for Archie Manning. Oh, I said that.
hey, hey, hey. Cleveland might go 0-16 this year. They got two
They end
first
up with
round
six
picks next
quarterbacks
year.
this next
You
offseason.
know, they got two first round picks next year. Hey, they got Jacksonville and theirs already. So those could be another two high picks. You never know. Um, but yeah, I just love the fact, I said it when off season started, and they made the coaching changes and they were going after Salah, and I can't remember the special teams coach right now to save my life, but like experienced guys who are who fit the 49ers and what we wanted to do, like they were taking this off season extremely serious. And this draft shows that they're still taking it serious and they're trying to get this roster right and get things back on track.
Yep.
So, I'm excited to see what comes next. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll try to grab a few like free agents that's lingering out there to come in and compete and do
We
different
have a
things.
open roster spot still.
There's still one spot open,
There's still one. There's
e-
89 guys with
even
all
after
the
they brought in the
undrafted free
kicker
agents signing.
today.
Did they
Because
sign a
I saw
kicker today?
they invited a kicker to camp, some young kid who won an award for the best kicker last season or something. I forgot. Is he out of Nebraska or something?
Ooh.
Um, Somebody throw that info in there. We signed a kicker from somewhere. So I don't know
I
if
just
he's number 89 or number 90.
Sola's
Oh, I know it's not
influence.
signed, but we invited him or something.
Everyone
So,
grading drafts. Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Ha, Steve says 0-17 now. We're going 20-0. 20-0 this season. You can put me down for that right now. Um, but yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of guys on the roster doing a lot of competing. So, ugh.
Huh? All this bringing up is that was last year, Matthew Wright
No, not Matthew Wright. Where's this
brought in a new
you?
kicker. This is 10 hours ago. Kenneth, come on, bring it up. Oh, geez. All right, here we go. So Okay, you guys like need to actually let me read it. I click on it and it's like, nope. Kenneth Almendarez.
Uh-huh.
Kenneth Almendarez from Nebraska. Or
Yep, there
Louisville,
you go.
actually. Louisville.
It's pronounced Louisville.
Louisville? Louisville?
Nope, you can't even say
Louisville?
V. It's Louisville. That's the way they say it. I'm just going off their pronunciation. You don't really say the letters, the vowels, nothing, just the L's. Louisville. But yes, we brought it.
Yeah,
We
Kenny
invited this kicker.
Almendarez.
Yeah,
Almendarez. So you never know. This is kind of the stuff that they need to do every year. Bring in some competition for a guy, right?
yeah, yeah. If there's no roster spots, that's solidified. Like we're bringing some comp. Why not? Let's do it.
I feel like we need to take not our starting O linemen or the guys competing, but all the other guys, put them in
Mhm.
front of Moody in practice, get all these young studs we just picked, and let them rush as he's trying to kick.
Whatever they got to
It'll
do.
help condition.
I'm sure the new guy. I'm sure the new guy will put him through the paces. Like they said they was going to bring in some competition. This is one. I'm hoping they bring in like another kicker, like some of these old guys who's out there. Not old, but some experienced guys who maybe have been in the league. 5-6 seasons or something. Bring them in. I think the more competition, the better. So let them have at it. Look at CBS gave us a C. Yeah, it's the grades out are stupid. I saw someone posted earlier. PFF gave us like a D- or something. It's dumb. It's dumb. I don't care. He says NFL too. Like they're all dumb. Like they don't know the team. They just go off their number ranking system and what they think is good or bad, and it's just blah. It doesn't make sense, especially when those guys haven't even taken a snap.
It. This is how PFF works. They look at the stats of the game, and they're like, okay, well, this guy obviously didn't give up a sack, so we're going to grade him high this game, although he actually got his ass kicked half the game.
Right?
Or like, it's what drives me crazy. It's like, do you guys actually watch these plays? I have one question for PFF. When Micah Parsons choke slammed Mike McGlinchey, what was his PFF score on that play? I'm talking about McGlinchey.
Mm-hmm. Right? Probably like, well, Parsons didn't get a sack or anything, so
that's exactly what they say.
he gets a grade of 100. Like, like, come on now, come on. Like, geez, who knows? All right, so what do you think of the draft overall? I said my thoughts. What do you think of the draft overall?
I honestly, I had an idea they were going to restock the D line, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of as expected. I figured they'd pick a linebacker. They got a guy that is like mirror image of Greenlaw. It's like, I wonder how hard they had to look to find him. Mm-hmm. But and all the other guys they took, I was like Upton Stout, even though he was small, I still, that's actually the reason I didn't draft him, is because he's only 5'8".
Uh-huh.
But, you look at his vertical and everything else, it's like this guy has instincts and can play. He's a good player.
Yep.
I like that pick. Of the first free safety in Niners history, Lynch and Shanahan history, I should say, right. Not the Niners history.
Yeah.
I like the draft. I do. Like, we're planning to have, experienced cheap backups behind Brock Purdy, the quarterback. The Connor Kobe, he actually seems like a scheme fit, but we'll have to see if he even makes the team. I got my hopes up,
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, Shanahan, are you thinking ahead? Because this next year, you lose Burford, Zakel, I think McKivitz's contract is up. Am I right? I think so. So it's
I
like
think his is up.
you're losing those three. You're
Brendan's
losing
still out.
Barch. You're losing a lot of your guys here next
Mm-hmm.
year. But you didn't draft guys this year so you could shape and mold them. Like,
Well,
I'm kind of scratching my head about that, but we'll just have
well,
to see how it plays out.
we could be in a 2-year plan. You don't know. We lost a lot of guys on the D line this year, replaced
Mm-hmm.
them. That could be the same strategy for next year. We already got, I think they say we got some comp picks coming to us next year already. So we already have, more than 7 picks. I think we got like 9 or 10 coming right now. I'd have to look, but
Well, with the free agents that we lost, the contracts they signed versus the
uh-huh.
contracts we got that actually offset the formula, we should end up with another 4 comp picks.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So we're stocked with picks again. So that gives us the opportunity to go out and restock offensive line next year the way we restock defensive line this year. That can
I'm
be
not
part of their
counting on it though.
long-term strategy. So you never
I'm
know.
just I'm not counting on it, buddy. The O line we got's good enough. We're never gonna.
Well, if we physically don't have players there, it's a different story. Like if Williams is gone and McKivitz is gone and Barch is gone, it's like, we need to draft a bunch of people. It's like,
Yes.
John, you can't run this draft. We gotta let Kyle run this one because we need offense here. Eagles show a plethora of picks next season. Man,
Yes, that
screw the Eagles. We don't care
they
about
have
them.
a bunch of because of how much trading back they did. Poor Sponge.
Yeah.
During the draft show, he's like day 2, he got to sit there and he's like we had a few picks. I got to see
Uh-huh.
one pick today. Like, Then they kept trading back. He's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It was
All right, man.
hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We could talk about undrafted guys next week or something, but great draft. It was fun. I can't believe you streamed the whole thing. You are a madman, but kudos to you. It's guys like that to keep the faithful informed. So it's good stuff. We appreciate you. What you got going on the rest of the week?
Well, it's kind of an easy week. We got the Corey Davis 49er Wednesday, where the crew will be talking about the draft. And we do have multiple teams on there, so tune in, folks. See what we all think, and and Kenny will be there, of course. So we'll get to hear his opinion and everything, right?
Right. I'm sure you two will be arguing
So
over reach.
we could be talking about that,
Yeah.
it probably definitely will be a subject. But don't
Huge.
forget East Coast Red and Gold on
East
Wednesday,
Coast Ringo
folks.
Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, Stay Faithful channel, subscribe to David's channel, his channel. I'll update the links in the description after this. So you can just click on it, go sub. We appreciate you. Next week we'll be on his channel because we alternate every week. Thank you all, everybody in the chat who stopped by and everybody watching it on replay. As always, stay faithful. And David, take us home.
Hey, it's Go 49ers, and as Corey Davis says, F all 31 other teams.
See ya.